Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mpho. I'm a CA and I like to chat all things business, careers, sometimes a little bit about life. Today I'll be chatting about how I like to plan for my finances or how I've achieved financial wellness as an accountant. So if you think you could be into that in the new year as we all preparing our resolutions and we're all trying to get a hold of things, do stick around. So I feel like adulting is about realizing.
And everyone around me, we're all just like realizing things.
You realize that you are in charge of maintaining or keeping healthy physically. So if you actually want to be healthy, you must exercise. Then you realize that your mental health is also on you. You are in charge of making sure that you're well. Manje, I'm realizing that finances, you could end good, but if you don't sit down and be deliberate about how you spend your money, what you're doing, what you're putting your money in, it's just gonna run out of your hands. And that's what I want to chat about today, how I've managed to have a system that ensures that I am well financially, and where things aren't looking okay, how I handle that. And I hope you guys also do steal from this if you think it could bring you value. Now let's get into it. So my financial wellness journey involves 4 steps, and I'm going to take you through all of them. I try to do this at the beginning of the year, and some steps I have to do monthly or as and when needed. So the first step is understanding what my current position is like. Now, there is no ways that we can move forward without accounting for where we are. And I like to do this by drawing 2 statements, first and foremost, as I would for a company. And then the last thing that I do is check my credit score. So I look at the statement of financial position, aka balance sheet, and then I also look at my statement of profit or loss, aka income statement. Now let's have a look at the balance sheet and what I do here. So this is all about determining what my net worth or my net asset value. I actually don't like net worth for some reason. It makes me feel worthless because the number isn't that best. So I actually like to look at it as net asset value because that's what it is, right? This involves listing all of my assets and listing all of my liabilities or debt, and then subtracting my liabilities from my assets to get that net asset value number. Right, so after subtracting my liabilities from my assets, then I have that net asset value figure, and then I look at it and I see how it makes me feel. We'll get into goal setting a little bit later, but depending on how I feel about it, then I can make specific goals on it. Right, so the second statement that I would draw up is my income statement. Now this is about the money that I've earned in the last year and then the expenses that I've incurred, and then again getting the net income or net loss figure, right? So if you were in a net loss figure, then you understand that you ate into whatever your net asset value was in the previous year. If you were in a net income position, then you would have added to your net worth during the year. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. You can look at your net salary as it comes into your bank statement and then deduct all of your other expenses that you have in your bank statement. And yes, you would need to take out your bank statement for this part of the exercise and start looking at some of the expenses that you incur. So how I do this part, I actually make use of my budget in the past year. We try to actually go back and put in actuals every single month. So this part is done on a monthly basis, and with this time of the year, I basically just look at the household budget, see what the income was and what the expenses was. For those of us who earn a salary, because we work 9 to 5, it's easy to just look at the bank statement to get the salary number. But if you've got side hustles, then you may need to tally up all of those invoices, tally them up, put them in your income line, and then all of those other expenses also include them as expenses. Right, so now that I've got an understanding of what my net worth is, and I also have an understanding of whether I ate into the net worth by borrowing more because I had more expenses than I had income, or if I added because I maybe lived within my means, then there's one other number that I generally look at when I'm looking at my current spending, and that is my credit score. So I make use of Clear Score to manage my credit score. They send me a report monthly, and that report actually tells me what my score is, how it compares in relation to people in my neighborhood and people nationally. I get to see whether there's things that are listed on my credit report that I'm not aware of, and then maybe I can query those. And you also get to see the things that you're doing right or things that are helping improve your score. So I would suggest maybe checking out Clear Score. I'll leave a link in the description to their site. TransUnion, I know, also gives you a free report annually, so you can also have a look at TransUnion, because also this is what financial institutions will be looking at, TransUnion or Experian, whenever they're deciding whether to grant you debt or not. Now I know a lot of us thinking, oh, but I don't want credit, so I'm not worried about a credit score. I mean, it'll come in handy when you're trying to buy a car, when you're trying to buy a house. So it's important for you to see whether you're credit worthy or not, right? And then you can work on taking steps to fix that out. Part 2 is goal setting, and this isn't necessarily the same as budgeting at this point. So you put down goals that you have for the year. So things like holidays that you want to take, birthday plans, savings targets. A personal one for me is that I want to be short-term debt free. So you write down your goal. Then when we go to budgeting, these are things that you will also include in your budget. Now, part 3 is then about budgeting. I budget in 2 ways. I've got an annual budget template thing that I created for myself. So it's basically Jan to December and all of the expenses, income line items that I see basically in one sheet. And what I also like to do is have a detailed monthly budget that we go through as a family beginning of each month, just to make sure that we've accounted for everything for that month. When it comes to budgeting, I like to consider essentials first. So things like home expenses, care, school for children, insurance and the likes. And then I also consider debt repayment. And like I mentioned, one of my biggest goals for this year is to be short-term debt-free. So this will be an important aspect of my budget this year. I do that before going to things like that are nice to have, like clothes and then like take out. The one important thing, right, once I have budgeted and I've made this plan, is to automate as much as I can. So what I like to do is to go to my banking apps and make sure that payments happen automatically. So I don't need to worry about going in every month and making sure that I've paid my credit card. All the extra amounts that I want to go towards these things are also automate so that I don't have to think about. The one thing that makes us, be not as disciplined and all of that is just because we need to make these decisions over and over again. But if you've decided once that this is how you want to spend your money, then automate it. Then you never have to think about it. If you've got a savings target, automate the payment from your check account to your savings account, so you never have to think about it. Same with investments and all of those things. I also want to mention that there's great apps that can help you with budgeting. I also like the 24/7 app. It is owned by Old Mutual. It allows you to put various accounts from different financial institutions, and it also allows you to put in your investment products from different providers as well. So you have this view of your home loan, your credit card, your different checking accounts, because some of us have more than one. I don't know why. I'll also leave a link to the 24/7 app if you want to check it out. So part 4 is all about monitoring and tracking. So I monitor my budget monthly. Just before payday, my husband and I will sit, we'll go through the previous month's budget, we'll look at bank statements and see what we did right, what we didn't do right, and then plan for the next month. We use an Excel spreadsheet for this, and as I mentioned, the 24/7 app that also has a budgeting functionality. So monitoring frequently, monthly in our case, helps us see where we run the risk of not meeting our goals or of our targets, and where we can actually tweak some things, and if we can come up with a plan to address shortfalls that we're already seeing. That's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section whether you would like to see more budgeting videos like this. Hit the like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I hope you guys have a good year. I hope we come back and we chat about how we all met our financial goals. Until next time, keep well.